Hello, guten Tag, und grüß Gott. Today is Sunday, August the 13th, 2023. And what a beautiful Sunday it was. So, it's not beautiful everywhere, but it's beautiful right here. In any case, I needed to make a video, and so this is what I'm doing right now. And what I'd like to do is maybe just go through a couple of things on the news that's going on, because it's really kind of a newsworthy event since July 24th, which was the last video that I made, which was also my 84th birthday. In any case, we did have a lotto jackpot that exceeded $2 billion. And I think it was like 2.5 billion or so. And somebody in Florida actually bought that ticket. But we don't know who. We don't know whether anyone is coming forward or whether that 2.5 billion will go to, I guess it goes back to the state where it's sold, or maybe the lotto company, or I don't understand exactly how it's being distributed, but it'll go back. And after the claimant time expired, it'll go back to whoever is going to pay it. So much for that. We were anticipating that, as a matter of fact, I think even the last video, which was on the 24th, there was $1 billion out, and that doubled, more than doubled. Another thing that's really newsworthy right now is that the U.S. women are out of the World Cup series for soccer. And, they've been dominating soccer for some time now. I think they've been in the World Series and winning it, I don't know, maybe up to 7 times. But unfortunately, they really had a really bad event happen, and that is that they lost at the penalty kick event, and it was Rapinoe who was picked to kick the penalty kick, and she really muffed it. I mean, that thing wasn't even close. It's so I don't know what she was thinking, but I know this is how she felt. So there is a picture of Rapinoe, and I'm sure she didn't feel good about that. So the Women's World Cup is still going on. As a matter of fact, Australia just beat, I don't know, Spain, Portugal, or somebody like this. Somebody really of note. But anyway, so we have that going on. But actually what's really going on still is Trump pleads not guilty. Oh my God. There are now 4 or 5 indictments against him, and they're all related somehow to the January 6th event, where he was really unhappy about losing the election, and evidently he talked to people about crime and corruption and voter fraud and all that kind of stuff, and people have been telling him, hey, you won the election. I think this is what happened. But in any case, it was really hard for him to accept when Pence, hit, actually legitimized the presidency of Joe Biden by gaveling him in, basically. And, talking about objections, I do remember when Trump was about to be gavelled in by the president of the Senate, is actually the vice president. So Joe Biden, I remember him, doing this, and I remember some black woman coming up and saying, "Oh, Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order," and they were trying to figure out, how to stop him from, going down with that gavel. And I remember Joe Biden, as much as, Republicans don't like him, and I'm not crazy about him. He says it's over, and he gavelled, And so at that point in time, all the votes, have been certified, and we have a new president, basically with a stroke of the gavel, and more specifically when he's sworn in. In any case, I'm not here to give you a civic lecture on how we elect presidents or anything, but I'm just recounting, some of the incidents that have happened during our time when we select a new president. So, oh man. Anyway, so here we go. With special counsels and indictments and so forth, and it turned out that Hunter Biden, the president's son, got a pass, some time ago from the investigating body that was looking into his corruption or whatever may be going on that he was doing illegally. And they said, well, we didn't find anything illegal, so cleared of everything. And of course, the Republicans wouldn't have any of that. So, so now we have a special counsel to look into Hunter Biden's business and how he conducted himself, and whether there was any fraud, corruption, or that kind of thing going on between him and his dad, and him and the Ukraine, Raznoft, where he was once a partner in that energy business in the Ukraine. And so indictments and investigations, I think this is kind of what we're known for, but maybe we ought to get down to governing or something, because the world is becoming a more dangerous place, with China, coming into our naval space, or into really close, doing maneuvers in Alaska, and it's a dangerous place. We're at war right now. Well, I say we, NATO basically is fighting this proxy war, in Ukraine with Russia. So that's what's going on. And another thing that's happening, and this may actually be, and that just happened very recently, this last week, and that is Lahaina, the city on the west coast of Maui, is gone, destroyed by fire. And the reason that, of course, that's affecting a lot of people, and it's really tough to talk about it because the destruction is so deep. And I'm just going to show a picture on the Wall Street Journal here. You can see all those burned out cars, so that means that with these cars on the street, on what is called Front Street, and we know it well because we go there every year, and we've been going there since about 2005 or maybe even earlier. Patrick, my son, basically grew up there, going every other year, for a couple of weeks. And so this is a spot that is very near and dear to our heart, and now it's gone. The town of Lahaina is destroyed, and there's some more destruction. And the city government, they ordered some 400 body bags, and so I don't know how many people are going to be have actually been killed, but it has been said that they've been jumping into the water because evidently the fire was fueled by what's the dry grass and the drought, and people not being able to water because of the drought, and the cane fields that are sitting there, nobody's harvesting and stuff's growing all over dry, and nobody's watering that, so So, who knows whether it was a lawnmower or a spark or somebody threw a cigarette or anything can happen. But evidently, there was a tail end of typhoon going through the South Pacific, and there were some winds, evidently 80 miles an hour, and they just really, really pushed that fire right through the town of Lahaina. And, some other areas as well. So the authorities have said, don't come to Maui, and if you can leave as soon as possible, because Maui is in dire straits right now, and they're trying to figure out, how to house the people that are now having no houses, and it's just a huge mess. So what's going on? There's a relief effort, and I think all the states are trying to send people there, which hopefully, is going to be coordinated well. Also, I understand that Costco, you can go to Costco and buy supplies. They have a list of supplies that are going to go to Maui, and water, toilet paper, diapers, the kind of essential things, that you need on a daily basis. So anyway, you can go to Costco and they have things on the list. You can buy those things and they will be delivered to Maui. And then the people are just going to be handed these items as they're needed, depending on their need. And I'm not sure how they're going to do this, but this is a disaster. It is said that this is the biggest fire event, even greater than the city of Paradise, which was burnt down basically only just a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago or so, in wildfires in California. And now this Lahaina destruction, or the Maui destruction, not just Lahaina itself, but the fire is still going on right now, is said to be this, only to be surpassed by the Great Fire of San Francisco, which happened over 100 years ago. So this is huge. In any case, I just wanted to do this video right now for, I don't know, maybe to assuage my sadness. I don't really know what the heck else to talk about, because it's just freaking tragic. But I can just mention that I've, with Marge, just visited once again my newfound friend, Herman Pfauter, in Santa Barbara. We were just there for a day on Saturday and visited with him and his wife and had a really good time. And just to remind you of who this guy is, so Herman Pfauter was the son of Hermann Pfauter. Hermann Pfauter Welsfreies Maschinenfabrik, that's where I, in Ludwigsburg, Germany, that's where I served my apprenticeship. And we were building gear hobbing machines, in other words, machines to cut gears. And so Hermann Pfauter was the factory that was established in West Germany because they had to leave their hometown of Chemnitz in the east, and evidently the Allies, actually helped Pfauter, bring some of the equipment and and the people and the knowledge in order to keep it out of the hands of the Russians. So anyway, Hermann is the son of the well, he's actually the grandson of the founder of Hermann Pfauter, Welsfreies Maschinenfabrik. And by the way, it's still in existence in Ludwigsburg, Germany, but it's no longer an independent company because it was bought by the Gelson company. And not Gelson, it was Gleason, actually Gleason. And they were also a manufacturer, and they decided to expand their reach into gear manufacturing, and offered Pfauter a deal they just couldn't refuse. And so, Herman Pfauter, as such, is no longer in existence because it's now Gleason. But Herman Pfauter, the founder, actually was quite an innovator because he figured out how to integrate gear hobbing in such a way. Just as a, why is gear hobbing important? Um, Spur gears have straight teeth, and helical gears, have the angular teeth. And those teeth, and when you put helical gears together, the forces are distributed a little bit better, and they're quieter, and it's just in many cases a better arrangement for transmitting power from one shaft to another shaft through gears. And so spur gears, which are straight teeth, they clash, and they're problematic in a lot of ways. You can't engage them really slowly. They have to be synchronized in order to make an engagement so that the teeth, come together instead of breaking each other up. Some of those problems really disappear with helical gear arrangements, and of course then there are lateral forces on the shaft, so that's another thing. But they can be overcome with Timken bearings and load bearing surfaces and whatnot. But what Herman Pfauter, the original Herman Pfauter, did is he decided that he would build a machine that had a automotive differential, driving the table that has the workpiece on it. In other words, the workpiece that is being manufactured as a gear, and then have the cutter at a constant speed, but the table would advance at a non-constant speed. So what that would mean, and you could calculate that, precisely, the ratios between these. What that means is that you, instead of having straight teeth on a gear, you're able to cut them on an angle, and that became the helical gear. So when he invented that, that really changed things, because now you could do helical gears hobbing instead of in the past. What they did is they shaped them. So they had imagine just a single cutting tool that has to start removing material, and while the workpiece turns a little bit, and then come back again. And that is a really slow process. Now with hobbing, you have a rotary cutter, and if you advance the table properly, you can really cut a bunch of gears out. As a matter of fact, on the table that is rotated against the cutter, we used to stack 10, 15 blanks of gears, and then cut them. So I guess I lectured on gear hobbing now. But anyway, I appreciate your patience, to go through this video with me, and we will see you again the next time. And I think I'm going to go back to talking more about family and my own growth in as a human being, to become 84, I guess, that would be the way to say it. So hopefully we'll have a wonderful week, and I especially need a wonderful week because I'm going to have a radiology treatment for my situation with the prostate. So wish me luck. Auf Wiedersehen. So long, and we must infect the universe with us.